And there we are. Good morning, people. We have Karla in the house. Woo, woo.
Woo, good morning.
And Shell is here. And I see Vicky is here already. Hello, hello. There'll be some more.
Vicky says she got up and dressed for this.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good thing.
I got clothes on. I can show the top hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, Karla, I'm so glad to have you here with us this morning.
I'm glad to join you guys.
You know, the thing about Karla is she's another one of those people that Shell and I have had the opportunity to meet in person. So that's kind of cool because, in this little artist community of ours, we don't always get together with people. So
that was fun.
It's amazing that we've been able to spend time. And there's Arlene. Good morning. People are starting to roll in here. Just get going here. So, yeah, do you remember when we first met, Karla?
The first time we met was what, 3 years ago? 3 years ago in South Carolina, we got to meet. And there was a lot of artists and we learned a lot of different things and it was a lot of fun. And since then, a few other times, which is great, Peg.
Yeah. Well, one of the things in South Carolina that I thought was so cool was when Karla showed us how to make these cups. And this one, people might recognize the artist on. Who does that look like?
From that weekend.
Because we swapped cups.
I have pegs that she made, and she has the one that I made.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun because I can look at that and
Uh-oh, she froze.
We're doing okay. How are you today? So, anyway, we're here to talk about art. We're here to talk about, what is our thing, what turns us on, what's our style, and Karla has a unique style. So I'm going to let you talk about that, Karla. Tell us about your art.
So a lot of my art, well, I like to learn new and different things. That's one thing about me that is consistent throughout the years. And so I chose to make tumblers, but what I like to do is see techniques that other artists use and try to apply them to a tumbler, which is a little bit different than a lot of people, because a lot of people just do the glitter and the vinyl and put epoxy on a tumbler and they're done. But I'm trying to figure out ways that I can take other techniques, whether it's using alcohol inks or doing collage like Shell, or I did some mandala ones with Posca pens. I've also done stencils, and most recently I made an attempt to make a cup using actually a jelly plate, where I rolled the cup on the jelly plate, which is really interesting, and I got to do some more on it because it didn't turn out like I expected, but I think I now know what I can do to make it better next time. So we'll see. But the great part is the jelly plate sticks to the cup, so it kind of makes a unique process. So that was kind
interesting.
Of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that I do, I'm sorry.
I was telling Shell we might have to make more cups. She's incorporated the jelly.
I would totally do that. I mean, I could totally see gel printing on a cup.
Yeah, I think I have that here too. It's right here. So these designs are where I used a stencil and the jelly plate to get the stars and the lines. That's all from the jelly plate.
Cool.
So, yeah. Very cool. But not like I expected. The first smeary look in the background is my first attempt.
So would you say that working on the cups and the epoxy and all of that is your comfort zone? Is that what you enjoy the most?
Yeah, it is right now. I mean, my mother was the craft lady, and so growing up, she did all kinds of different crafts and different things, and she was always training people in different techniques and crafts. I mean, I've done lots of different things growing up through the years. The one thing that I try to find is a niche of something that I can do where I don't end up with a house full of stuff afterwards. So for a while, I did miniature cakes because then I could give them away. People could eat them, and my art was destroyed. But then I thought, I was traveling a lot, and I happened to be watching some little video, and there was a girl that had this really beautiful tumbler that she was drinking out of, and she said she made it. And I thought, how did she make that? So then I went on a quest to determine how she made it. And I just got interested. I thought, well, I'm going to try to make myself a turner so I can do tumblers. And then I just started playing around, and it's kind of grown from there. And I typically give my cups away as gifts. I don't like having to make like 100 of the same design.
Oh yeah.
So typically, I have some cups that I'll put on my Etsy store, but a lot of times people will call me or get a hold of me on Instagram and ask me to make a specific design of a cup, and I will make that and ship it to them. So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It's useful and it's fun, and it's a challenge to think of a design that goes all the way around a cup cohesively and works.
Well, you just recently came up with some new tools to help with that, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yep.
So, I mean, if you guys check out Karla's YouTube channel, because she has informational videos about making these things. So if you're at all interested, be sure and check out What If NC on YouTube. Hi, Laura. Hi, Barbara.
Yep.
Good morning, people. So
the other part of my art that I haven't shared with you is I have a laser machine. I'm kind of a techie gadget girl because in my career before I retired last year, I was an IT professional. So I love everything that's new gadgets. And I was watching people with the different laser machines, and I kind of got the idea that I wanted to play and try on a laser. And so some of my friends asked if I would make them stencils with my laser, which I have done. And I have quite a few of them in my Etsy store from different designers. And some of them are online, like Laura Gregain and Pegs 2020. I've got some that are like this. This is one from Messy Table Studios or Vicki Brown. There's some, this one's a little off the side because it's one of my seconds that it's not quite right. I have them in 6x6s, and I do 4x4s. And then I've got a whole series of small ones that are more like business card ATC size. And I even have a set that's like journaling ones that are like, the weather and the temperature and the mood. And so those I'm thinking of loading into my Etsy store this year. But if you're interested, you can ping me on either Instagram or Facebook at What If NC, and be glad to talk to you about it. But I've got a lot of things that I haven't tried yet on my laser that I'm kind of itching to do this next year.
Well, you were talking, we were having a conversation one day, and you were talking about the other things that you can do with your laser that you're thinking about incorporating into your work. And I think it's fascinating, all the things that you can cut and do with that machine.
Yeah, I've got, so I have some art panels that you can paint and then put in the laser, and the laser etches basically off the paint. It removes parts of the paint. and you can do it with layers and have it at different strengths, so it shows different colors. So I haven't tried that one as much yet. I also have some tiles where you can paint them and you can etch somebody's photo, and it ends up looking, like a picture of them, but a little bit different. And I have wood and slate, and I can cut leather with it. It's just whatever my little imagination can come up with. I also have a turner on it where I can etch into cups and glasses, like wine glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some stuff that I haven't tried yet that I really want to try.
Well, but you really haven't been
Able
making this your business until recently, right?
No, I haven't. I actually was working until January of last year when I finally decided to retire early. I thought I was retiring for myself, but this year's proven to be different. I retired for other reasons. Yeah. But I really haven't felt like I've been retired and been able to try anything. So 2021 is going to be my year to start exploring and trying different things. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that.
I think we're all looking forward to that. 2021. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man.
No kidding. No kidding. But.
So when did you decide to start doing videos?
I decided to start doing videos because I was brought into a group of artist friends through a friend, and everybody had a YouTube channel, and they were always talking about it. And I thought, I might be able to do that. And I really hadn't thought about it until after we had spent that week down in South Carolina. And I thought, what? There's some techniques and some stuff that I've learned about how making cups that maybe other people would be interested in. And there was really no YouTube videos out there that showed you at that time how to correct the stuff that went wrong. There was people showing you how to do a specific design of a cup, and that was about it. There was really no one telling you, if I've got bumps on my cup, how do I fix it? And so that's where I kind of got started with it. I haven't really put up a whole lot of videos this past year, but I've got quite a few ideas that I want to try to put in the queue. And I want to do some where I'm experimenting, like this one with the jelly. I have all the film for that. I want to put that one up because that's just taking something completely different and applying it. I also had one where I took tin foil and crinkled it up and put it on and made it look really unique. It actually got very pretty.
I saw that one. It was pretty cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But they're asking you questions about your designs, and I think I can address that in just saying check out her Etsy store. All the information is in her store, and you can deal with all of that through her store.
I see someone's asking what my YouTube channel name is. It's What If NC. It's all together as
and it is in the description box below the video. So if when we get done with all of this, you want to go down there and click on it, you can watch all of her videos and find her Etsy store and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I think I even have a video of a cup that was inspired by an artist out of Canada. He does finger painting, and so I finger painted a cup in his style, and then I sent it up to him in Canada, and I had so much fun watching him unbox it. And and the part that I find even more fun is that every once in a while on his videos, my cup is featured and him drinking out of it as the thumbnail. I'm like, there's my cup.
Fun. That is fun. I love that.
Yeah.
So, what kind of, since you're still in the newbie stage, what kind of tips can you give other newbies that are, starting out? I know Nell has just, put her first video up, that there's still a lot of room for growth for all of us. What can you tell us?
I think just to keep trying and I know for me, I haven't put up a lot of videos, and luckily some of the ones that I've put up have sparked a lot of interest for people and driven people to my channel. But keeping up a frequency of adding videos is important to keep people interested. And I think I heard Laura say it the other day, being authentic and yourself, and just pretend you're talking to your friends. And I think that authenticity brings people to you. You know?
Well, and don't you think that it kind of depends on how you want to utilize YouTube? Like I use YouTube just for my community, just for, you know, the sharing with my friends and doing this sort of thing. A lot of YouTube is very commercial,
Right.
and, you know, so it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. You know, Shell and I just started out with sharing because that's what we're good at and what we want to do, and help people and, you know, share our art. So, and I think you can actually be more authentic when you're not trying to sell stuff. You know, I think that you can, you know, bring them good information without, you know, pushing product. I mean, yeah, we're sponsored by different people too, but I always tell them, I'm telling you the truth about this stuff, because I will not sponsor somebody that they're just not my thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I think
Nell has a question about how she can send me a stencil. You know, whatifnc@gmail.com is my email address, or you can instant message me on Instagram or on Facebook, and I'll get with you and we can determine what's best. I do have a custom stencil on my Etsy store. Right now it's disabled, but if you instant message me, I'll enable it for you so that you can order one through that. I took it off only because a lot of people who have not designed a stencil for the first time, there's some techniques and tricks that you have to use. And I was getting a lot of single order stencils, and it was kind of overwhelming me last year. So I kind of have hidden it for now, but would be glad to work with you on your stencil design. So especially that first one, it will take a little bit of work, especially with the bridges and stuff. So
yeah, and what she's talking about, like if you look at this and you see 2020, you don't see these bridges that are built into the stencil. That's not a good. It's not good. You don't see the bridges that are built into the stencil because I painted them out, but you do have to have things that connect it, because otherwise they get way too wobbly. So
get wobbly or pieces fall out.
Yeah.
Like if you think of an O in a letter stencil, you know how the center part of the O, there's always that little piece of stencil to hold it together. That's called a bridge.
Okay.
And when you're looking at your design, sometimes you want to artistically place those bridges into certain areas so that they kind of become part of the design. And you also want to think about, like on the 2020, where it's got that long loop, you need a bridge up high so that the two part doesn't flop out.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think there was a video that I did with Cindy Utter that has some tricks on how to make a stencil. That was in, I think, in the hop. I'll see if I can't pass it on to mine.
Is that on your channel or on Cindy's channel?
It's on Cindy's channel.
Okay, so maybe we'll have to get that and put it in the description box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that.
Find it.
It was really interesting to look at not only the stencil designing in the bridges, but also to see the machine. I mean, I've never seen a machine like that, so
Yeah,
it was fun to watch it work.
It is fun to watch.
Yeah, they're amazing machines. not your standard toy that every crafter is going to go out and buy. I'll tell you that.
And
Quite expensive.
and they're you can buy inexpensive ones from China, but you have to be very careful because there's some dangers to having one because you have to know the material you're cutting and if it lets off toxic gases or not, so that you don't cut something that you shouldn't be cutting. And you also have to make sure that you've got the right ventilation. There's certain things I don't like cutting. I tried to make rubber stamps. Yeah, that was not good. First of all,
I've been to Karla's and, seen the thing close up in person working. And I can tell you that even with all the precautions that Karla takes with the ventilation and everything, you still smell it. It's still toxic. It's still, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully, one of these days, I want to. One of the things that's on my to-do list in my retirement is to build myself a new place to live. And when I do that, one of the things I want to do is build myself a studio that has an area that's built with the ventilation in mind, not only for my laser machine, but also for my epoxy because. Yeah. I mean, I do have air filters and I do take a lot of precautions. And I typically will put stuff on overnight when I'm not in this room so that I don't have to be breathing in the epoxy fumes.
Yeah.
But
good practice.
You have to because those things are not good for you.
Right. Safety first.
Exactly.
So what would you say your favorite tools are then? Is it the laser? Is it, something else? What do you enjoy working with?
I really enjoy working with the turner and the epoxy. I really do a lot. I mean, I like the laser. There's some stuff I need to experiment with, which next year is going to bring, which will make it a lot of fun. But I really enjoy the transformation on a tumbler because something that you don't think looks that great once you've painted it or once you've applied a design to it, once you put it under epoxy, it just changes.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it, but that extra coat just makes it come alive.
It really does. And explain, you said turner. Explain to them what a turner is.
There's one back here, but you probably can't see it very well. On a cup, when you put the 2-part epoxy on, the cup has to be turning like this constantly for at least 4 to 6 hours. Because when you put epoxy on it, it will slump off and fall off the cup, and you would end up with like no epoxy on the top and a thick coat on the bottom. So it has to turn constantly in order for the epoxy to cure and become a thin coat over the entire cup.
Yeah. Hi, Josie. We got people still joining us. Glad you made it here today. And Happy New Year to you too.
Josie's in Italy.
Yeah.
I wish I was in Italy.
Yeah.
I've also been doing some other stuff with epoxy. I've got molds. I've been trying to make some different things with, whether it's a coaster or I've been making some journals.
Yeah.
Covers. Yeah, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. They turn out really interesting, and it's kind of neat to put like different epoxy or different like alcohol inks and different mica powders in there, and then see how the epoxy changes and moves within it. And I recently saw somebody use a piping bag to pipe in flowers into their epoxy, and it was way cool. So,
and let me tell you, ladies, this chick is good with a piping bag. I saw those Christmas cookies.
The Grinch one was my favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She made the cutest Grinch cookies. I wanted them.
I'll send you some next year.
Okay. Oh.
That's great.
So you're stretching, you're expanding into other areas. If you were to choose, what's the next thing? What would you like to do that you haven't done before? Hi, Nancy.
I would like, okay, I think there's two things that are on my wish list of different art things to try.
Mhm.
And one is I would like to do the pottery on a wheel. I don't know why. I think it would be fun. I watched a challenge on it. I just think that would be fun, especially with the kilns where you could put like glass in it and make different mosaics in the bottom. Really cool. And then the other one is silversmithing. I don't know why.
Both of those were on my list, actually.
Are they?
You make
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
things.
the cost that I can't do it because of the cost. I would like to own a kiln. I would
Yeah.
love to own a kiln,
Yeah.
but they're like $2,000.
We know somebody who has a kiln.
I do kind of want to build someone that did stained glass.
Yeah. But I'm kind of with you. I've always had a fascination with ceramics. I did ceramics in college because I could, because they had all the stuff and all I had to do was show up in the classroom and build my pots, and so
Did that too.
yeah, I love pottery. If I'm someplace in an artist colony, one of the first things I go look at is the pottery. They're beautiful.
It's that or the glass blowing.
Yeah, glass blowing.
Yeah.
But I just don't think I could stand the heat and the weight of the glass. That's why I kind of avoided it, because I'm like, I can get burnt.
Yeah.
It's too hot in there. I'll probably die of heat exhaustion.
I had the opportunity to tour Waterford.
Uh-huh.
That kind of put me off of making glass stuff.
Hot, isn't it?
When I saw the furnaces and the molten glass and they're swinging it around, and it's like, oh no, I don't think so. It's beautiful. I love it, but I'll let somebody else. And then the guys that were doing the glass cutting, the leaded glass, where they had the big saws and they've got their goggles and they're in there with the big piece of glass and they're cutting all those slices into the glass to make all that beautiful Waterford crystal. Absolutely amazing. Just not something I'm going to take up, I think.
I like watching the Cornell glass. They have a YouTube channel where they invite different artists in, and for some reason I get fixated on watching that channel, just because what I really like is that people who tour the facility, they have the ability where you can apparently draw a design, and then you put it in a box, and then once a week they go and they'll pull out of that box and they'll pick someone's design and then they'll make it in glass. And it is really cool to watch, because sometimes it'll be like a kid that has drawn some type of dinosaur, and then they'll make the dinosaur out of glass, or it can be some amazing piece of art that and watching them figure out how to make it out of glass is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I did do some glass, because I'm a crafter. I had to do it all. I did the lampwork beads, where you take the little mandrel and you're wrapping the bead on the mandrel and making glass that way. I have done a little bit of stained glass, but those don't take all the stuff, the big furnace to do the big glass pieces like Waterford,
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done the lamp work beads as well, but they're fun to make. But
They are, but it's very intense.
it is.
That's one of the reasons I gave it up, because you're staring into the flame and you're like this.
Reached over, and then your neck starts bothering you.
Right?
Exactly. I know exactly what you're saying.
I love it, when you stick it in there and anneal it and you get them out, and then all of a sudden you've got this beautiful array of beads that you can make something with. But it's a lot of work. And that's not a cheap hobby either.
All of them look identical, though. That would be a talent with lampwort beaks, because when I was making them, if I could get one to turn out, I was real excited. The thought of having to make multiple of them, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I had better luck with the polymer, like if you're doing the polymer clay ones.
Yeah.
And you could make things that looked enough alike that they looked like a set. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm trying to read. Go to Venice for a course. Yeah, that would be good.
Oh, and Taos. Taos is awesome. Arlene's talking about Taos, New Mexico.
And pottery makers. Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, that retreat in Taos, we were talking about that yesterday, because we were talking about the sticks and twigs.
Yeah.
With Laura, and that's the Taos retreat was doing that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think this next year I'm going to try to get more involved in drawing more, because I used to draw a lot as a child, and I've done some cups where I've drawn on them and painted, but most of them are cartoony, like these little
But
guys.
I love cartoons.
I do too. I have fun with them. But I think I want to draw some more and do some more art, direct, more realistic art, and try to put them on a cup. So we'll see. We'll give it a try.
That's what we're here for. That's why we keep doing what we do. Is it's all experiment and play.
Exactly.
Not everything turns out, as everybody knows, because they watch me really flub things up. But it's okay.
It's all relative anyway. Somebody's mistake is someone else's masterpiece. It's true. I mean,
yeah.
Josie's saying she could go to Murano, Italy, and do glass there, take a glass class. That's something most of us can't do.
Yeah. I don't know where around here.
I said I was going to turn that off, and then I didn't.
At least it wasn't mine. I was more afraid of that being me. That or my dog at the window.
I was going to go up to Wisconsin. There's a art center there where there's a guy that does pottery, and he just lets you come into his studio, and he'll teach you what you want to learn, and he'll just let you go for it. It's like, that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, mistakes are it's all a learning experience, Arlene, isn't it? We learn so much. Corning, New York has a glass museum. Yeah, that's what Karla was talking about, right, Karla?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And they have a YouTube channel, she said, that you can watch.
Yes, they do. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool.
So even if you can't go there, you can at least see and watch the artists.
So Karla, the thing about Karla is she's so diverse. I mean, we talk about baking, we were just talking about the cookies and things. I mean, she is the master chef in the kitchen. She's always making bread and cookies and all kinds of things.
I can't anymore because I can't. I don't have to take him. I can't take him to work to get rid of him.
Well,
You
and
just have
last
to
year
eat
she
it,
was
so.
canning strawberry jam and, you know, doing
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I mean, you have many talents, my dear.
I think that comes from, like I said, my mother was the craft lady, and I learned the joy of learning new things from her. And that's the thing that I think that's the thing I like the most. And that's kind of like, even though I stay in the Tumblr world, I really like watching other people making other stuff because the thought of how I can apply it to tumblers is the part that excites me.
Mhm.
And I think that's the one thing, like with mixed media artists, you guys try a lot of different things and try to apply them in your art. And so I enjoy watching kind of what you guys are doing to see if there's something that I can take from there and apply to my art.
Yeah.
Or, you know, my craft or whatever you want to call it.
Well, and that's a good attitude to have no matter what kind of art you do, you know, because it helps us stretch and
Right.
go beyond what is our norm. You know,
Mhm.
you know, Shell and I do that all the time. It's like, well, what are we going to work with today? And it's like, well, I haven't had that out. Are we going to really do that live in front of an audience? It's like, well, sure, why not? You know?
Sure, no problem. What could happen? We could really mess it up. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had to figure out how to do camouflage. I had an order for a cup that had camouflage on it. And so I started watching videos on how to do realistic camouflage. And I started watching people do real tree camouflage on cars. And I'm thinking, well, how can I shrink that down for a cup?
That's
Is
a
it YouTube a
challenge.
blessing though? I mean, if somebody's doing it, you can find it. I mean,
I know. Well, and they were using spray paint and bits of tree limbs. And then they just spray, and then it does around the limb or the leaves that they've picked up, and they just layer and layer and layer, and then after a little while, it looks like camo, and it's what they call that real tree camo.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about that, and I'm thinking, oh, I could make a stencil, and I need a hairbrush. I had those two things. I got the part. But I actually ended up making it using bubble wrap. No, not bubble wrap. Saran wrap, crinkled up saran wrap and alcohol inks. Who knew?
Cool.
Because the
I like
crinkle
alcohol ink.
makes the leaf part and the stems and sticks. So,
well, we've got a video releasing tomorrow. Shell and I have something coming out for Stencil Girl, and I did a large canvas, which is very nature related. So I relate to nature a lot in my art. I like using leaves and all of that kind of stuff. But, you know, that I don't do the eco dyeing, but I really like just the organic shapes of things in nature.
mm-hmm.
You did eco dyeing once.
No.
No,
I did.
it wasn't.
That was not eco dyeing. That was actually inks and sprays and things to look like eco dyeing.
Oh, okay.
It was my version of eco dyeing because you know, when they go and they take the avocado and they're boiling it down and they're putting their papers in there and there's now I am not dealing with that mess. I got enough mess right here.
That'd be mold.
I don't have a lot of leaves. Or else I would do, you know, where they put the leaves in between the paper and then tie it really tight and boil it and all that. I would do that if I had leaves. I don't think you could do that with cactuses.
Well, I'll have to send you some leaves because
what kind of leaves do you want? I think I have a whole yard full. I have an acre of them. I got oak trees. I got pine trees.
You got all the trees. I have a couple things, but mostly it's cactus and rocks.
Well, I was thinking about that when derecho came through here and it knocked all of our trees down. It's like, I need to be out there picking up those walnut husks and because all these people that are doing the eco dyeing would love all of this stuff. But yeah,
Bag them up and sell them, Peg.
I should have done that.
I can bag up the acorns, but save me dental bill for my dog.
Now, walnut husks will make like such a deep, dark brown. You should love that.
Yeah, well, I do love it, and you know what?
Do you have any crystals?
It comes to you in nice little packages like this,
Yeah.
so that you don't have to go through all of that.
You can just buy it in crystals or already mixed.
I'm just saying, somebody has gone and done all that hard work for me. Am I really going to do that part of it?
No. I hear you.
I'm a lazy person when it comes to that kind of stuff. So anyway, so Karla, we've mentioned it before, but I want you to tell people again, because some of these people came in late. Who are you? Where can they find you? That sort of thing. Just let people know who you are.
Okay, so my channel names it's What If NC, like What If North Carolina. It's all one word. And I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube under that name. So I do tumblers, which you've seen a few back behind me. And I do stencils mainly. That's kind of my niche. So if you're interested in some stencils, you can buy them on Etsy. Here's an example. Some examples. And I have different artists, and some of them you may recognize, Bits and Pieces and Laura Gergain and Messy Table Studios, and there's an Utter one in there. So different designs and different ideas. And if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help you out.
Very good. Yes, you do wonderful, wonderful work. So
yeah,
we've all appreciated that and have been reaching out.
Yeah, a lot of new stencils coming out in this next year. So there's some designs that have been made that haven't been loaded up. So I've got some ATC size ones and some really neat designs that have not been loaded up. So in the next little while, you should see some new.
When might we anticipate seeing those?
The ATC ones you should start to see this week. And then the other one, I have to talk with the artist about when they're ready to release them. So
Josie is asking what is a tumbler, so you guys might want to show your tumblers again.
This is a tumbler that Shell decorated for me when we were in South Carolina together. Isn't that beautiful?
There's a different one. Here's one with alcohol inks. That's just different striped effect. Says what day is it? But they're just a stainless steel tumbler, drinking tumbler that you can put a straw in, have a cup of coffee. Here's one that has Cindy Signs Utter and myself. It's my Crushing the Corny, the coronavirus. And as you can see, no corn and the toilet paper. But that has an alcohol ink background.
Yeah, that's cute. Really cute.
Up, you can have coffee in them. It keeps it hot, or something cold. Keeps it cold.
I have hot coffee right now.
Yep.
And they last a long time. They keep stuff.
Yeah, I like them because they're a stainless steel surface, but then I can paint them with anything, So sometimes I'll paint them with acrylic paint, or I'll spray paint for a base, or I'll gesso them. And then I'll apply, like this is the one I did using a jelly plate. This one is just different colors of epoxy, and it marbles and kind of does a unique design when it's on the tumbler. And so this one's got mica powders, and it has some acrylic paint, and it has some colored epoxy in there. And they're just kind of dripped on. And then I have some that I put glitter in as well. And then this is one I've recently done where I kind of did like some Posca pens to kind of paint on it. I made it for a friend, Martin. So kind of in that henna painting techniques.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. It's
Well,
kind of
and you've got the biggest glitter collection of anybody I've ever seen. So if anybody wants anything glitterized,
see it? I think 2 or 3 of my friends added to the collection with all their glitter.
Too funny.
Yeah, I recently put them all in bottles that were all the same size because I was tired of all the little tiny bottles and the big bottles, and they would fly through, and so.
Yes, you're very good at organizing.
Yeah,
I've seen that happen.
I'm just gonna show you. This is one where I used a stencil, and I think I used modeling paste through it. So, but that's kind of fun.
Modeling paste, so that's interesting.
I know. I tried everything.
You do. You're a brave woman.
This is that crinkled aluminum foil.
Oh, nice.
I was trying to make it look like it was one of those geodes.
Uh-huh.
You can kind of see it close, but it's hard to see on camera, but it's interesting in person because as you look at it, you see the dimension through the epoxy. That's kind of cool.
Very nice. Very nice. So I think that's, probably about all the questions that we have for you, Karla. We want to thank you for having been here with us today.
Oh, thank you. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of, we've got such a diverse group of artists in our community. And so I want to invite everybody, if you're not a member of Art Joy is Sharing, come and check us out. We've got lots of things going on over there, and would be happy to bring you in. Just remember to answer the questions so that we know that you're a real person that's applying to get into the group.
And Karla, you should post a picture of some of your tumblers.
Oh, I will. Yeah.
Yes. Please do.
Might be able to see them a little bit better in the photo than you can on the video, because it could be really tiny if people are watching on other small media. So
exactly. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Well, and a lot of times the photographs show up so much better than the video. Yeah. So I think that would be good to put that out there. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, people, for supporting us. We always appreciate you guys coming and supporting us, and we want to remind everybody to stay safe and be smart, and come hang out with us here. We'll be back.
She froze.
On our normal stay live
on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday. Yeah, it will be the normal arts live, and then we'll be doing more.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, she keeps freezing. We'll be doing more artist interviews coming up, as well as our regular live stream, doing some projects. I don't know what we're doing on Thursday. I have no idea, but we'll figure it out on Thursday.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.